Hey guys, welcome back. I know there's been a lot of questions recently. Are my slabs real? Are my Japanese waifus real? The waifus are not real, but the waifu cards, you should probably make sure that they're real. There are a lot of counterfeits on the market. There are a lot of counterfeits on the market that are fake slabbed. They are in fake PSA slabs typically, but you got to be on the lookout. And this is why I always say, guys, you got to know what you're looking at. Even if it's in a plastic case, even if it's graded by the actual grading company, you need to know that the card is legit. You need to know what to look for if the card is altered, if there's a fake stamp on it, if it's a fake card that they accidentally graded. In this case, it's fake cards in a fake case that are made to look like the real case. So side by side here, we got a nice little comparison. We got the real deal on the left-hand side. We have the fake deal on the right-hand side, and you will see there are some pretty distinct differences. Usually with the fake PSA cases, you're going to have some sort of anomalies. They probably took a mold of the PSA case, so in around the corners, and it might not be the best in the video here. But if you need more examples, just join the Discord, and I can let you know. But you can see in the corners here, down by my elbow pit, you got some not so crispy corners here, and that's just because they took a mold of the PSA case. These are not sharp like they should be. That's a number one giveaway. But also the texture, the label, you always got to be kind of weary of. Make sure the label is representative of the cert number. Make sure the cert number isn't deactivated. There's a ton of things that you can do to make sure that you don't get ripped off by this stuff. We got a little tricky trickster that we're going to take a look at today, who has been listing these counterfeit Pokemon cards and counterfeit graded cases. So we're going to take a look at that. So if you couldn't tell at this point, after I pointed out the corner in the PSA case, also the difference in texture. This is why I always pay with a method. If it's somebody that you're not friends and family with, don't put the Zelle away, put the Cash App away, put the PayPal friends and family away. If we're talking serious dollars here, you shouldn't be buying something like this. Even if you receive it, it could be a fraudulent copy. So you got to know. And you got to have other cards around. That way, it's going to be much easier to check this and know that this is the correct item when you have it in person. Pictures, again, you're going to have across the room, up someone's butthole, in the dark. The lights are so turned off that even the windows are spray painted black, just so you can't see what's going on. You can't see the differences. This from across the room in a terrible picture, yes, it's believable. When you get it up close, when you're looking side by side here, you should be able to see the difference. If you can't see the difference yet, you need to be able to see the difference before you're buying this stuff. It's sad that it comes to that, but there are people in this world that are going to F you in the B if you leave your pants down and pick up change off the side of the road. All right. So there are many other differences here. I'll leave you guys to look at it. Namely, the card itself, the colors are off, the texture is off. The texture is never quite right on these fake cards. Yes, they've added texture to some of them. No, the texture is never exactly the same. It's almost like a fingerprint. I'm sure there's some sort of texture errors that can happen, but this isn't that. This is just them making a counterfeit card. Oftentimes in and around, especially the borders, you can really see it, depending on the angle at which you see the card. Again, if it's in a plastic sleeve, if it's in a case, you're going to have all kinds of light reflecting off of it. It might be hard to see any and all textures at any given time. But you can see here the like fingerprint-like texture that's around the border. We're not going to see that in the same way on the fake card that's over here on the right. So pause the video if you need to. By all means, take your time. Take a look at it. And if I've had a ton of people join the Discord recently, and they're like, hey, are my graded cards fake? Just a heads up. If it's me that's answering you, I'm probably gonna lead you to find the answer yourself, because it's important that you learn for yourself. I can't be there for every purchase that you make, but I can at least steer you in the right direction to know what you're looking for. I'm going to ask you, do you see anything wrong with it? I'm going to ask you if you looked it up. I'm going to ask you if you Googled the cert number to see if it was owned by anyone else. I'm going to ask you if the seller was a reputable one. So There's a lot of checks that you can do, checks and balances. I mean, first of all, you got to be at least a little bit suspicious that it looks different or looks off. In this case, very, very good situation that the person that sent me these images, well, the images of the card that they purchased, that they noticed that it was off, and brought it to my attention, or to the Discord's attention. So thank you very much to Technological for the pictures here, and the info, the intel. So here's a side by side. We got a real one, we got a fake one. Again, so the first comparison here, this is the PSA scan on the left hand side. This is the real copy. The right hand side is the clone that the eBay seller was trying to sell. Again, we're gonna rag on the eBay seller a little bit in the near future. Hopefully eBay does something about that. I will be contacting them, letting them know that this person is duping and snooping some individuals. But we're gonna do a little walkthrough here. We're gonna walk you through. This is important. I know this is gonna be a little bit longer than some people want to watch, but this is important. If you watch the whole video, you're gonna be much better off if you don't know what you're looking at. All right, so comparison time. So the owner, the buyer here, luckily had a copy of Iono already, a legitimate copy. You can see here on the left hand side, this is the legitimate copy. Very nice, very beautiful. And no, I'm not biased because I just finally pulled the English one. Left hand side, real copy. You can kind of see that fingerprinty texture. You can kind of see the texture coming in through the background. Here you can see it's kind of washed out a little bit. It's a little bit darker. The colors are off. Texture is kind of nowhere to be seen. I mean, you can kind of tell that there's some texture, but it's more glitter than it is texture. Look at the glitter on this bad boy. Not that glitter is a bad thing. It should be a little glittery, but not this glittery. Next. Here we go. We got another better side-by-side comparison. You can see the lack of texture coming in through the background here. You can see that the glitter is present. The glitter's there, but it's not like this. This is bigger glitter, more glitter, glitter to the max. Even Pikachu is on fire here. He's so glittery. All right, guys, we got it. Seeing the differences here. And yes, they did a pretty good job with the counterfeits. No, it shouldn't be something that fools you. If you're spending this much money on a PSA 10 Iono in Japanese at this point in time, when it just came out, when it's a hot shit Honda, remember, be careful. Know what you're looking at. You should know the difference here. Not everyone's going to know the difference. And no, I'm not. It's not a free pass for people to scam. They're in the wrong as well. They're more in the wrong, the people that are scamming. But be careful, guys. So you can see here too the side-by-side comparison with the real card on the left, the fake card on the right, that we don't have the same foggy situation going around the card itself. The case has many aspects that, whether intentional or not, are difficult to replicate. So your frostiness, there is going to be some variation within cases, but again, like it's not going to be night and day like it is side by side here. Even though the case probably fits on the other PSA cases, that's not a test. That's not a good test. You need to be looking at the corners if they're sharp. You need to be looking at the frostiness of the textured areas within the case itself. The PSA logo down at the bottom here, ignore that. That's a sleeve. But regardless, you need to know. You guys got to know. You should see a million different things that are wrong with this, especially if you had it in person. And again, if you paid for this, if it was through eBay, which it was, this purchase was, this fake one on the right-hand side here, then you can get your money back. But you have to be able to recognize it. If you don't recognize it, then you're screwed. You wait a certain amount of time, you're screwed. It's a ton of money, and you're screwed. The buyer isn't going to be like, oh yeah, totally, I definitely sent you a fake one. They're going to be like, oops, I didn't know. I must have got ripped off. I can't believe Johnny Joe sold me one of these bad boys. But yeah, fake card. This is fake. If you have one that looks like this, it is fake. Another little look at it here, I guess close up. I don't know if that's a ding there on the card itself, but But yeah, you can kind of tell that the print quality is not quite what it should be, what it needs to be. And I'm sure under magnification, you'd really be able to tell. I would say that this is probably a scan of some sort that they put on this. And again, if it's scanned, you're not going to see the same ink dots and patterns, same rosette pattern that you would on a real card. Again, Jewelers Loupe. The link is in the description. It's like $3 or $4. Buy one, please. All right, the back side of it. So as we've seen with these cards, the front side is usually a sticker. The back side is usually real. We got some serious wear and tear on here for a PSA 10. So that should be another red flag. It looks like we got some dirt in there, but sometimes the graders do that because they're dirty boys and girls at the grading companies. All right, here's the seller. UKF-Tech Japan. If you purchased a Pokemon card from UKF-Tech Japan, a graded one specifically, you got ripped off. You need to make it right. You need to reach out to me. You need to reach out to eBay and get your money back because they scammed you. All right, let's give it a scroll down here. So when looking at eBay accounts, I guess there's a lot that lends itself to other platforms as well. But when looking at eBay accounts, there's some things that make it a little sketchy. So 143 items sold. I mean, everyone's got to start somewhere. 100% positive feedback means nothing. Remember Arjun Dillon, the ultimate scam daddy, supreme, poop-duping son of a gun? He had 100% positive feedback because anytime someone caught on to a scam, he would just kind of push the blame. He would say, oh, I didn't realize they were fake. I didn't realize that someone fake stamped these. I'm going to have to go get my money back. I'm sorry, here's a refund. Same situation here. So first off, we got categories here: toys and hobby, Disneyana, business and industrial. So it's a weird combination. Not saying that people aren't selling business and industrial stuff along with their Pokemon cards, but to me this is a weird combination. That should be a red flag number one. Typically someone that's just selling random Disney hats and a ship girl, Disney crap, again, industrial, Mitsubishi stuff, Mitsubishi electric stuff, and then just a random like My Hero Academia figure. Again, figures, you got to be careful in the same way. There are many counterfeits. I don't know whether or not it would even be worth counterfeiting this bad boy here. But yeah, here's what we got. So you can see here, there's a little bit of a lack of Pokemon cards. We do have the one. We do have the Dendra here, or not Dendra, the Grusha. I got my trainers mixed up. The Grusha, Japanese Grusha. We got some One Piece. Awesome. So let's go look at the feedback. Let's go look at the feedback. See if there's anything suspicious there. We got UKF Techno-48 with the 65 feedback. So, that was a lot of items sold for 65 feedback. It seems like they got a lot of repeat feedback. Which is interesting. It's not, I mean, sometimes somebody wants to buy a lot of things from you, or keep buying, or coming back to buy more things. But we got another red flag here, guys. Why are they selling so many private listings? That's what I want to know. Does somebody reach out to them and then they're like, oh, let me just make a private listing for you? Or are they farming feedback? Like we got a 2 feedback account here, private listing sale. And it's RAS. I don't know what the hell that means, but awesome. Here, private listing cards were well protected. Thank you. Whoever this is, hopefully, I mean, there's a very good chance that you got ripped off. If they were Pokemon cards, I haven't seen any legitimate Pokemon card sales on their part whatsoever. But we scroll down here, still just more private. Red flags all day, every day. It's like even second page. We come into more stuff here. Here, this person's emojing all over the place. Shipped quickly, shipped promptly, private listings. Like even the majority of them are private listings. Like it's wild. here towards the end here, we don't really have as many private listings, but even towards the very beginning. So remember, since December 10th, 2022, not that somebody couldn't start selling in December 10th, 2022, but again, we have high-end, perfect, graded waifu cards coming from an account that typically, if someone has that kind of stuff in their collection, if they have that kind of stuff, especially in multiples, they've probably been selling on eBay. It's not for certain, but don't worry. We can go into the old buyer history here. We can see that they were selling Miriams. We can see they were selling Ionos. We can see that they were selling some kind of Zoro. I haven't watched One Piece yet, guys. I'm sorry. It's daunting. I don't know if I will. I'm on the fence. But we have a One Piece Roronoa Zoro. Regardless, we have some expensive cards here. We got $1,000 to $2,000 cards, graded. I'm gonna ask you guys to pause the video right now. I want you to tell me what's wrong with the 3 images on screen here, the 3 listings that we see here. What do you see that's an immediate red flag? And it'd be a red flag if it was on Instagram. It would be a red flag if it was on Facebook. It would be a red flag if this was just someone that whipped out pictures from their wallet and they were trying to show you their children, which I guess they're cards that they consider children. Right here. What's wrong? All right, you guys had a chance. You had a chance to type down below. The images are all different. The images are different size. The images are different background. The images are seemingly different quality. That's a bad sign. I'm not saying that someone can't pull out a different playmat and take a different picture, or they go decide to swap up their pictures or change up their pictures at some point in time. But typically, they're not going to the end of the earth to make sure that they're cropped and taken in different positions and places. Not to mention the fact that like these little markouts, those are a red flag as well. You shouldn't need to hide the cert number or the barcode that is the cert number, that indicates the cert number, if you're a legitimate seller. If you're legitimately selling these things. So let's give this a quick scroll through here, and then we will get to we just want to see the items that they sold. So they did sell some trading card stuff. Again, extremely expensive. It wouldn't surprise me if these were fake as well. Oh, the answer to your guys' question is the fact that yeah, the photos are not their own, if you didn't gather that. So we gave it an old scrolly-roo down the page here. We got some anime figurines. We got some plushies, some weird flower and a Disney Sundrop magic, a hamburger Mickey. So again, it's a lot of Disney stuff. Seemingly they aren't selling very much of this Mitsubishi inverter stuff that they got going on here. But oh no, I guess they have sold some of it. So again, haven't sold very many items. These are the public listings because the private ones are hidden. So this kind of gives you an idea of how much they've actually sold. eBay will be able to actually find out how much they have, how much they've sold legitimately versus how much they sold behind the scenes to probably fake accounts that are just dollar farming some like feedback or something like that. But yeah. All right, let's get into the listings themselves. So what do you notice here, guys? We got out of stock, 2 sold. So we got a listing here. Again, this one, the picture looks nothing like the others. The tiny picture, which is clearly cropped from someone else's images. For comparison here, let's get in. Well, we gotta scroll this out to 100. This is what the image looks like when they take an actual image. I'm assuming that they actually are selling this Disney Card Club 2023 crap. Again, it's only $59. Do they have counterfeit ones? Maybe, I don't know. I'm not gonna look into that. I do not collect metal Disney things. That's not my market. That's not my niche. That's not what I want. All right, so you open this bad boy up. It is a tiny picture that is cropped out, stolen from who knows, the original owner of this probably. Awesome job stealing that. And again, they stole multiple pictures so that we can actually see what's going on here. Like, I don't even know what are the dimensions of this photo. You get the fancy Pokemon card game mat on the backside. I don't know if that was like an attempt to, the cropping was an attempt to make sure that, or maybe it was to make it look like it's more photos than it is. But maybe not. Maybe it was an attempt to make it so that it was hard to reverse image search. Either way, 2 sold. So the scam here, the 2 sold scam is what we're going to call it, is the fact that you don't receive this cert number. You don't have to receive that cert number. You receive the other of the two copies. They were both PSA 10s. You received the other one. So you got to be careful with this, guys. This is tricky. This is some pull a rabbit out of a hat kind of shit, where it's either blocked out. You don't receive the one in the listing in the image. The one in the image, if anyone is asking, if anyone asks me or anyone asks somebody else, is a real copy. They're going to use a real copy in the image itself. That way they don't get caught on that end. And then they're going to claim that, oh, this was one of the 2 listings. You just didn't receive this one. I don't know what they ever do. If they sell both to the same person, I guess they would have to claim like, oh, no, I had a third one, but this is the image of the third one. I have no idea. Regardless, they're scamming here. This is the scam, the 2 sold scam. All right, next up. Wait, do we have terms of sale? Our products are 100% authentic. Okay, sure they are. The item will be shipped from Japan through its Japanese postal service or another international delivery. We accept payments, shipping, return. Please check out business policy. What? Why even have this section then? Items delayed in shipping. Okay. I mean, they never even address it. Regardless, you can always return something on eBay if they don't send you a legitimate item, or if they send you something that isn't as described. Here they're claiming that it's 100% authentic. Not only is the card that you're going to receive not authentic, but the case is as well. And again, that's where they're going to land themselves in hot water. Some serious fraud here. We got, you're selling counterfeit goods in Japan, from Japan. You're going to end up in trouble with law enforcement, because this is going to be reported. If I get a hold of any of this shit, it's going straight to law enforcement. You're going to get yourself in trouble with PSA, because you're selling fraudulent PSA cases. And then they have to deal with that shit. Hopefully you also get in trouble with the Pokemon company. It's hard to say whenever they're going to step in with something like this. Secondary market stuff, maybe not as much. But you're in serious trouble. Not to mention the fact that you have payment methods and everything that are tied to your account. You're accepting money here online. There's a trail. I don't know how people think that like they're going to get away with this shit. Like, you're just going to end up in jail. That's what it comes down to. Blows my mind. If you guys haven't watched the Dustin Souza video from yesterday, make sure you do so. Make sure you spread the word. He's another Pokemon scammer here in in North America, in the United States, and gonna end up in jail as well, which is pretty ridiculous. All kinds of fraud. All right, next up we have the Iono. So this is the Iono listing that was purchased from, and yes, once again we got a tiny itsy bitsy image. Again, different playmat in the background. Not immediately. That doesn't mean someone's scamming you just because they have photos with the different playmat. The fact that it's the tiniest photo ever means it was probably cropped out or taken from somewhere else. And again, we're going to use real pictures of a real card here. The cert number is not going to match the one that was sent. It did not match the one that was sent. Neither of the ones that were sold are going to match the one that was sent. I really hope that whoever the other buyers are get contacted by eBay or see this video. So if you can share it, please do. Hopefully we can, the other one purchase of the Iono is at least accounted for. Hopefully we can get the other, not to mention the Miriam here. And if anyone ends up purchasing the Dendra, I guess we didn't look at the Dendra to see if either of them sold. But here we go. We got the championship top prize 10, 2 sold, $2,000 a piece. who bought these. Hopefully they sent them back. Hopefully they realized that they were not the real thing. Again, I don't, they don't clear. I don't, how are these scammerinis so stupid? Or maybe it was the person that originally owned the card that's really stupid. But the barcode on the back here indicates what the actual cert number is. The same with the front. I don't know how people don't understand that. So if you ever need to check and they block this out, you can just download a barcode scanner on your phone and scan this, and it'll tell you what it is. But regardless, here we got, again, just the worst pictures of all time, very different pictures of all time, and the same terms and crap down below. So fake eBay account. And again, this is when I made the videos, or when I make videos about criticizing the eBay like verification system and stuff like that, like, this is not going to apply to that. It's still going to go to you because it's coming from Japan. But looking into and digging into accounts like this and looking at actual customer complaints about items that are not legitimate, especially in the trading card space, they should have some experts that can look into this stuff. I'm doing it for free for them right now. They can go ahead and use this information to take action against the seller. I'm also going to send them a nice email to the higher ups so that they can do something about this. But again, hopefully that means everyone gets their money back. Whether it's through, it's eBay's responsibility, essentially. Same with if someone gets scammed on whatnot, everyone should be compensated by the platform. That's why the platform is there. So I'm just hoping that everyone is aware that they're not sitting on fake $1,000 or $2,000 cards. That's the worst case scenario here. Okay, let's go back and look at the Dendra to see if quantity. Listing. I guess they're just selling the single Dendra. They didn't get two of this one. It wasn't. This is like the Noah's Ark of scams. We got the 2 copies of each. But yeah, essentially this. Like they got the the QR code blocked as well. But again, another image. These images are of a real card, so you gotta. Even if it looks perfect, even if it looks exactly like what you're looking at, especially when there's multiple quantities here, we got to be careful for this stuff. And again, you guys, if you see any of this stuff out in the wild, you got to report it. I know it usually doesn't do anything on eBay, but also bring it to my attention, and I'll do my best to shut it down. Like, there's some of it that's like glaringly obvious scams and fakes and stuff like that, with like a zero feedback seller that's got a bunch of booster packs that are like the crinkle cut ones on the top. That stuff you just got to report as much as possible. That should be stuff that's automatically taken down by eBay, but it's not. But yeah, hopefully this was informative. Hopefully it was helpful for some of you out there. I really hope that it saved somebody that had purchased some of this stuff from the seller, from this fraudulent seller. Hopefully they get caught doing this stuff. I would imagine that some of these other cards here are also counterfeit. I'd have to believe that they are. I don't know why they would be selling legitimate, $2,000 sets of cards, but not on the other stuff. Again, I don't know One Piece all that well, and again, the photos might not actually be what they're actually selling. So they only had one set of these, but it could be someone else's photo. They have the counterfeits, or they have both. I don't believe that they have the Pokemon cards in the actual grades that they are, just because they would use their own photos to make it more legitimate, or it seem more legitimate. Like here, they got caught. They got absolutely caught with their pants down, and hopefully they get a serious slap on the wrist. Fraud is not something to mess around with, guys. Be careful out there. We'll take them down one at a time. Do what we can. Thanks for tuning in. Join the Discord, and I will see you guys next time.